Hello there. Can we talk about the new iPhones? Right, so we've got 4 new iPhones, the 17, the Air, the Pro, and the Pro Max. What was interesting though is that when everyone ran to the hands-on area, it was the Air that was the most popular, the busiest. Thought maybe given how the reception to the S25 Edge from Samsung was a bit that maybe people would be like, well, hey, it's a thinner iPhone, who cares? But it seems to have captured everyone's imagination, maybe just because it's actually something a little bit different from Apple, which we haven't seen in a while. Thing is though, while everyone's ogling the orange Pro and Pro Max and super slim Air, I think it's the base iPhone 17 that's actually maybe the one that most of us should buy. Not only have they doubled the base storage, all iPhone 17s now have 256 gigs of storage. Samsung, Google, are you listening? We also have 120Hz ProMotion for the first time. Thank the Tim Apple in the sky, or well, more likely over there. So everything just feels smoother, whether it's games that support high refresh, just swiping around the home screen, everything you do will feel faster. And combined with that double base storage, honestly, that alone is enough for an upgrade for me. They've also made the screen brighter and tougher and added a bit of an anti-reflective coating to it, although I can't say it's made that much difference. New chip, of course, the Apple A19, with Apple saying that the graphics are 20% faster than last year. We also have a longer battery, more on that in a second, and it comes in 5 lovely colors. I think this sage and the lavender are the highlights, but we've also got mist blue, black, and white. The screen's also a touch larger, now 6.3 inches. Brightness has been boosted to 3000 nits, that's peak outdoor sun mode, and actually that's the same brightness as the Pro phones. It's also tougher with this Ceramic Shield 2, which apparently is 3 times more scratch resistant. The 17 also gets a longer battery. Apple say we'll have 8 more hours of local video playback, which brings it to... I can't remember, I'm going to put it on screen there. Anyway, quite a significant jump for the 17, and we get faster charging. 20 minutes will top you up 50%. As for the camera, on the base 17, it's the dual setup as usual, 48 megapixel main, but now with a 48 megapixel ultra wide. That's bumped up from 12 megapixel last time. But it's the front camera that's the most exciting. We have a brand new 18 megapixel center stage selfie, and as far as I can tell, it's the same camera across all iPhone 17s. And while it is high resolution and a much bigger sensor, I think it's roughly twice the size, the big deal is that it's a square sensor, 1x1 rather than 4x3. Essentially, there are 4 modes. Both the vertical and the landscape have a close-up and a wider. This new selfie camera is also the widest field of view that we've had on one of their selfies. They've also improved the video stabilization. So with this new setup, rather than thinking, oh, let me take one this way, oh, there's too many people in the background now, let's go this way, you can do it all from the same orientation. So that's the iPhone 17, and it will cost you the same as last time, $799. Like, yes, it's the same design and it's a little bit boring compared to all the shiny new things, but the 17 just makes the most sense. It's the best iPhone for $799, double storage, ProMotion, better battery, A19, brighter screen, always on display as I'm being reminded off camera. I think the 17 is the one to get. Let's move on to the 17 Air. This is what's getting all the attention. I mean, just look at this thing. Just 5.6 millimeters thick. It is stunning. In the 4 very nice colors, we've got space black, cloud white, light gold, which may be my favorite one, or this sky blue. The crazy thing is, this new 17 Air is Apple's most durable iPhone ever, despite the slender size. And that's because we have their new Ceramic Shield glass on the front, and also using Ceramic Shield on the back now. And it still gets the same IP68 rating. Now you're probably thinking, what the hell is that rectangle thing at the top of the phone? That is called the Plateau. And this contains the camera, the speaker, the chip. They've basically crammed everything into this little thicker area to make the rest of the phone thinner and just fill that basically with the battery. It is eSIM only though, and that goes for everywhere globally, whereas the iPhone 17, the Pro and the Max can still support physical SIM cards, although only in some territories and actually less than before. The US, Mexico, Canada, Japan, a lot of the Middle East are all now eSIM, which actually is an advantage now because you get an extra 2 hours of battery across all the devices simply because they can squeeze in a bigger battery. Now speaking of the battery, really this is going to be the main compromise, well, except for only having one camera lens, for going with the Air. Apple say that you're going to get an all-day battery. It should be roughly on par with last year's iPhone 16 Pro, so definitely solid, if not fantastic. But hey, we'll see, we'll test that properly. But they have also announced a new low-profile MagSafe battery pack. It actually adds 65% more battery to your iPhone Air, although it is only compatible with the Air. It doesn't fit on other iPhones. Well, technically, because it's MagSafe, you can just use it sideways and it will charge, but it's not really ideal. This really is just for the Air. The other compromise is that we do only have this single camera. There's no ultra-wide, no telephoto. You just have to rely on their 2x internal zoom. It is still a very good 48 megapixel main camera though, essentially the same sensor as the iPhone 17. And of course we also get that new center stage selfie camera. All the new iPhones get this. As for the screen, we're talking 6.5 inches, making it a little bit bigger than the base iPhone. And I think actually the Goldilocks size, it feels great in the hand, as the YouTuber cliche goes. But we're still getting that 120Hz ProMotion, the same 3000 nits of peak outdoor brightness. Oh, and of course 256 gigs of storage as standard. Interestingly though, Apple is likening this more to the Pro series, at least in terms of the performance, because we have the A19 Pro chip. Although it's not the exact same one, it's a slightly cut down version, then we have fewer GPU cores. So that's the 17 Air. Is it worth paying $999 for a slightly thinner iPhone? Well, maybe. Obviously the S25 Edge from Samsung wasn't received that well, but I think this is more interesting and certainly a lot better looking. But I've saved the best till last. Let's talk about the 17 Pro and Pro Max. I mean, holy moly, look at that color. This is cosmic orange, and I want one. Although maybe I want the deep blue, or the silver. No, probably not the silver. Deep blue or cosmic orange. This is the boldest looking Pro iPhone we've ever seen, and I'm here for it. And like the Air, we have this plateau at the top. This is a pretty major redesign of the iPhone, at least from the back. So you know how last year it was all about how amazing titanium is and also Apple Intelligence, which did not get much of a mention in this keynote? Well, titanium is gone, aluminium's back. They've started again apparently, which is helpful because it's lighter and also significantly better at dispersing heat. And actually one of the highlights of the new phones, particularly the Pro series, is how much cooler it will run, which is thanks to the better heat dissipation of this new aluminium unibody chassis. Also for the first time on an iPhone, a proper vapor chamber cooler. And they've also rejigged the placement of the chip and the logic board inside to optimize the thermals. Altogether, we're talking up to 40% better sustained performance versus last year. But you can see on the back here, we basically have a dual tone design. That's because this big area in the middle is ceramic shield with the aluminium frame around it. And apparently this is 4 times more crack resistant, it's thinner, and it also allows for fast wireless charging. And around the front we have their toughest ceramic shield 2, which is also more scratch resistant and also has this new 7-layer anti-reflective coating. The only thing that may bother you is this, the Apple logo, which is centered within the ceramic portion of the back of the phone, but not the rest of it. Does that bother you? Let me know in the comments. Do I like the new look? I love the new colors. It's different, and I think for Apple, that's a win, because it's got a bit boring recently. Battery life is also improved, and on the Pro Max, Apple is claiming the best battery ever on an iPhone. But then don't forget, if you live in a country that gets the eSIM model of the iPhone 17s, you are getting a couple of extra hours compared to everyone else with the physical SIM variant. You're also getting the full-fat A19 Pro in the 17 Pro and Pro Max. I think this year a big focus of the new chip is the graphics, but also sustained performance, thanks to the better cooling, better heat dissipation, more efficient chip. So it's faster, great, but more importantly, what about the cameras? Well, the Pro and the Pro Max are exactly the same, and for the first time we get a triple 48 megapixel setup, with the telephoto lens being the headline upgrade, with a higher resolution, 56% bigger sensor, which should make a big difference in low light. And rather than a 5 times optical zoom, it's now a 4 times, which I'm here for. I think that's a much more usable field of view for everyday shots, especially for portraits. And while the main wide camera has stayed the same, the new chip and better processing should benefit all the camera lenses, particularly when you're using the 2 times zoom with that main lens. And if you zoom into 8 times with the telephoto, it's using a 12 megapixel crop of the 4 times optical lens. And for the first time, you can punch into 40 times with photos. Previously, this topped out at 25 times. And then flipping things around to the front, we have that new center stage camera. I briefly mentioned this earlier, but it has much better video stabilization, very similar to the main rear camera's super steady mode, and it's this, combined with the power of the new chip, which unlocks another new feature. Dual record, front and back cameras at the same time. I know we've had that on basically all Android phones since the beginning of time, but iPhone has finally caught up, so you can walk around with your pretty little face in the frame and also record what's going on behind you, and you can punch in and out and change between the lenses. The only limitation is that it tops out at 4K 30. You can't shoot 4K 60. Also, there is no sign of 8K video recording, which was rumored for the new phones. That never happened, but also fine. And just like the rest of the lineup, we also get 256 gigs of storage, although for the first time, you can now spec a Pro Max with 2 terabytes. There's also a couple of new video modes for super high-end productions that you and I are probably never going to use. There's also a couple of new cases, they're tech-woven one, although I'm always a fan of the silicone. So let me get this right for the Pro phones. New chip, brighter screen, tougher glass on the front, well, ceramic on the front and back now. The new design with the plateau, the bump-top 48 megapixel telephoto and just general camera improvements as well. New colors, which I'm genuinely excited about. The center stage camera with that new 1x1 sensor for horizontal and vertical, much better cooling, which I'm very excited about because my current 16 Pro Max is getting quite toasty as I'm shooting all this stuff here. And is that it? I'm probably forgetting something. There's quite a lot here. Oh, and also new Apple Watch Series 11, Watch 3 Ultra, AirPods Pro 3 that can do live translations. All really cool stuff, but that's for a different video. Question is though, which iPhone would you buy? Which color would you go for? Or none of the above? Let me know what you make of the new iPhones in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see my full review very, very soon. And I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.